Welcome to another fabulous episode on Barbie's Diary. My name is Barbara Omodudu, and I say a very big thank you to everyone who has supported this channel in one way or the other. Thank you for even deciding to watch this video today. Thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate all of your comments, your likes, your subscription, and in fact, just joining me on today's episode. Today's episode is a very controversial, something that a lot of people shy away from. I mean, we can talk about, a footballer recently, an African footballer recently that spoke about this. There was also this popular pastor as well that gave his 2 cents on this. And in fact, there are a number of resources online on this topic, guys. So the topic itself is black tax. And we'll be talking about this topic, right from the definition to, issues surrounding this, to how to treat this as a newcomer. I trust that we'll be having a very fantastic time on this episode. If I'm not focusing on the camera, please note that I am just taking a look at my notes to ensure that I am not leaving any stone unturned. Welcome back, guys. So, black tax. What is black tax? Initially, when I was having, my research and study on this, I was wondering, yes, I studied before I shoot a video. I was wondering, why is it even called black tax anyway? Why black tax? Why do we have to always put all of these kind of things and term it black? Okay, Black Friday is a good one. Anyway, that's a conversation for another day. But from what I researched, I found out that it emanated or originated from South Africa. And, generally speaking, black tax refers to a term whereby professionals or black workers or, people who are high income earners feel a sense of responsibility or a form of obligation to their family or their siblings or their relative or even friends, to give a certain part of what they earn to them. And it is not far-fetched because as Africans, we are used to communal living. We try to do everything as a family, we are close-knitted, we help each other out because we believe that, by pulling one person up, you are building generational wealth. It is not unusual to find that people support other people. Another important thing that I need to state is to say that black tax is not synonymous with only immigrants or people who have traveled out of the country or out of the continent or out of Nigeria, out of Africa. No, even within, you can also be black taxed. So it's not a concept that is synonymous with travel. Even people within the same country can be black taxed. That's something I need to state really clearly. The first time I heard about this term was, in fact, and truly when I was still in Nigeria. I recall I was in an Uber and I was the guy and I got into a conversation and he spoke about black tax. Coming into Canada now as a new immigrant, it now became really popular among the community because you always hear of black tax. Even in recent times when I post pictures, maybe places I've gone to or places I took the kids to, or just me living my life, and people are entering my DM and they're asking me, Barbara, so you have mind to post kind of things? Don't you have people that are taxing you? Are you not afraid of billings? I'll just laugh it out and be like, this is fake life, oh, this is not my real life. Oh. Like all of us are managing that kind of thing. But I say that in recent times, people are obligated to help other people, perhaps because they have also been beneficiaries of this kind of help. Also because, as Christians, or our faith also encourages us to give us never lack, keep giving, you to always come back to you in good measures, and all of those kind of teachings that we're used to. The question right now is, where do we draw the line between where that obligation or sense of responsibility lies and where a sense of entitlement begins? As a person of African descent, or as somebody that perhaps maybe earns a little more than this person asking, I should be able to give out a part of what I earn to this person. Now, where does that end? And where does the sense of entitlement, when the person begins to feel like, I don't have, you should give me, like that is how it is. Where do you now draw that line? Because as much as you owe this person an obligation, perhaps as a friend or as a family member, a brother or sister or distant relative, you also have personal needs, you also have personal wants, you also have projects that you are working on. And I came across a quote one day that said, someone else's urgency is not your emergency. The interesting part of this conversation is that the people that feel a sense of entitlement to what you have or what you are earning or what they feel you have, because most times it's just perception, right? They are usually not the closest to you. They are not your family members, because most times these ones understand that, oh, okay, perhaps you just got this new job, you are trying to get your foot in the door, you're trying to balance, but then somebody random is asking you to give the person money, and you're wondering, okay, people that are even my family members are not demanding from me as much as you, that you are perhaps one distant relative or somebody that is just a friend of a friend. And it begins to give you anxiety as a person. The truth of the matter is that you cannot keep pouring out from yourself. If not, you will end up doing what? Burning out. So what do we do? How do we balance it in such a way that I am not overwhelmed with the asking, and that you are also respecting boundaries and not having a sense of entitlement towards it? Because I find that it is also a very difficult place to be, especially for new immigrants, because you are out of the system. This system is a credit system. It is a round-the-clock system, so you are paying bill almost every day in the month, right? So there's a bill to be paid, there is something to do, and so you are only trying to just settle in, and then from your home country, somebody's already ringing you, asking, telling you, oh, they need this favor, they need that. What are the things you can do? I think the first thing to do, set clear boundaries, and that's something that we need to be stern about. The first time I heard of this statement was from the popular preacher Ma Funke Felix Adejumo, that said, you are not El Shaddai, else you shall die. So you cannot provide for everybody. You are not El Shaddai. You are not all sufficient. Even you need help. And I'm a strong advocate for helping when you can. Like, please, by all means, if you can, why not? Please, by all means. But ensure that you're setting boundaries, clear boundaries for yourself and for the people that are coming to ask for help. Let them know that this cannot be a daily affair. I had this lady that used to work for me, and it's like every month this person is coming back. So I had to be like, no, you cannot do this. So let it stop. And if they don't stop, you can easily put things in place to ensure that they have limited access to you. The second thing you need to do is that you need to think of yourself first. It's not selfish to think of yourself first, because the truth of the matter is, even the Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself, not more than yourself. So like you will love yourself, right? So love, you have yourself, you come first before you start thinking of any other person, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. It is what it is. Ensure that you secure yourself first. You don't want to be that person that at the end of the day, you give so much of yourself and there's nothing left. As much as you love people, as much as you care for people, it's a good thing to be that way, but ensure that you are securing yourself. Another thing would be to have a budget. This goes without saying. For anything you want to do in this life, you need a budget. Say, okay, this month, this is how much I have for black tax. And once you've exhausted that money, so be it. That's the full stop to it. Everybody will rest and wait for the next tranche. You don't want to be that person where you have to keep eating into your emergency fund, or into your house rent, or into your children's school fees money, or because you're trying to help people. See, some people are just takers. They will just keep collecting and never give back. Even as a family, come together and say, yes, for family needs, this is what we have. And it's always good to have that conversation, so nobody feels like, oh, so you are giving to your own people, how about my own people? No, let it be a collective effort. And whenever we're giving out in our name. This conversation is becoming marital so that somebody is not running to you to collect money and also going to your spouse to collect money. At the end of the day, people will just find out that you've been enriching somebody else. Another thing would be empower people. Don't give them fish, teach them how to fish. Just so that you are buying into a long-term investment for them, rather than giving them handout every month. If you are able to set them up in a business, show them the way. What's the beauty in just knowing that you're the only person in your community that has money? Make it make sense. Rather, try to build generational wealth, try to empower people, try to teach them how to fish, try to show them the way as well, so that they also can start something for themselves. I have a word for people that ask. This video is not only for new immigrants, it's not only for people that have money to be giving people. It's also for people that ask. Let's talk to you guys. My first advice would be to avoid entitlement. The fact that this person is your brother, the fact that this person is your sister, the fact that this person is your relative, or the fact that you see the person flossing on Instagram does not mean you are entitled to whatever the person has. Even if the community came together to train this person to now be who the person is, and the person perhaps is now the richest in the community, it does not still give you an entitlement to whatever the person did, because they can still train somebody else and the person will amount to nothing. Give people the space that they need to flourish the way they want to flourish. Let people say, oh, I don't come on social media to post anything because I don't want anybody to feel like I've made it, or I don't want anybody to come to my DM and start begging me. You can do better than that. Avoid entitlement. Another thing to avoid would be reaching out only when you need help. It just shows desperation immediately, because you've never called to say, oh, how are you? How is that new job you got? Or I heard you relocated. How is the new place? How are you settling in? You don't ask questions that show you care. The only time you reach out is that, how far, bros? Please, I need 30,000 naira. You don't really care about these people. You just care about what they can do for you. Another thing would be to ask for big favors. I know this sounds like, Barbara, we're complaining about what these people are saying they should ask for big favors. I think so. Come to them with projects. I want to do this and I need money to fund it, or I have this big project in mind. I do not have the complete cash to do this. Can you please give me this? Come to them with big problems. So with the big issues, we'll sit down and say, oh, this person has plan, and is this person able to set up this business? One, I'll be free from this taxing. Two, they'll be able to uplift other people and they'll be able to cater for themselves. So I think I can buy into this project for this person. So ask for the big thing. Don't come and ask for random things like money to buy a new phone when you are complaining that you've not eaten, and then what you're asking for is money to buy iPhone, the latest iPhone, or money to buy a bag, or things that should not be your priority at the moment. So another thing I would say would be to be appreciative. It still ties down to all we've been saying about you are not entitled to this person's richness. You're not entitled to this person's abundance. You're not entitled to this person's funds. No matter how close you are, no matter how, maybe you're a family member, as a matter of fact, maybe you are a friend, maybe you're a this, you're not entitled to this person's money. So if the person is giving you, is out of the generosity of the person's heart, the person is giving to you. If you work, if you earn a living, a decent living, you value every penny that is given to you for free. No matter how small it is, even if it's not what you're expecting, appreciate it, because appreciation is application for more. Do not be disgruntled. You are not entitled to the person's pockets. Take what the person gives to you with joy and be appreciative. So for black tax, I think it's not something we can wish away. It's a part of who we are. It's a culture for us. But there has to be some level of understanding on both sides, both from the receiver and both from the giver. So there has to be that balance. There has to be that boundary set, so that I'm not draining and then you are not feeling entitled to what I have. So I think I've touched on this the best way I can. I really hope that I've not ruffled some feathers whilst talking about this. I hope that you're taking the learnings, like I always say, just even if you don't like the messenger, take the message. But why won't you like me anyway? And I also believe in the principle of givers never lack. So please key into giving. It's a beautiful thing to give. Always pray to God to be in a position to help people, because with that you unlock blessings from God as well. And yes, thank you so much for watching. If you have experiences you would like to share in the comment section, please do well to share it. We'll be happy to read from it and learn from you as well. And if you have other comments on this topic, please remember to leave them in the comment section. Share this video with everybody you feel who will be interested in this kind of content. Ensure that you like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.